Okay, I made a video about not being able to drive. It was just over a month ago. A month and a couple weeks, maybe. I don't know. But I did finally get my driver's license renewed. And the wait was the worst thing. Because there was no way to contact them to find out, to get any answers, and any of those answers to be something that would answer, but calming, to calm the nerves and everything, because I've been driving 47 years and never had this ever happen. That I guess it changed in 2020 probably, where people had to schedule appointments to go in and renew their license. Never in 47, well, at this point right now, 47 years, had anything like that happen. So, to me, that I had to do that. But anyway, I went, and it was very, very nerve-wracking, just the wait. And the 2 days prior to it, I had so much anxiety. Now, I was diagnosed with panic disorder many, many years ago. So many, I cannot even remember how long ago it was. And then I got put on a medication at some point for diabetes, and it basically, that was kind of like the answer for me. I'm not saying it would be for anybody else. And, I have a rare health condition. Well, I've told them I might have 2 rare health conditions, and what happens to me might not necessarily be the same for somebody else, and vice versa. So anyway, they this part, let me jump back to this about going to get a driver's license. The anxiety was just through the roof, and I had to have Adam drive me there, and I was worried he was going to be in one of his moods. Oh yeah. And because I guess when I feel anxiety, so does he, and his just kind of bounces off of mine, and that does not make for a good mix. And so anyway, before then we went and got something to eat. It was at a Tex-Mex place we'd never been to. It's not a chain place, and the food was just not good, and we didn't have time. Like I always get fajitas, and the meat was just way undercooked, and we just didn't have time to say, okay, take it back, and we'll wait here forever for it to come back cooked right. Anyway, so we got there, had a little wait outside, but went in, and overall it was a wait. Even though we have appointments now, we were in there waiting for probably an hour for my appointment. But the people there were really, really nice. And seriously, I have never known that to happen in any kind of government level for anything, no matter what. I've known people to be indifferent or just rude or just mean. Just something like that, but nothing. And there was somebody there to get their license, and apparently this one woman just, I don't know which way to put it. I don't know whether he was right or she was, she was innocent. She being the employee and he being somebody trying to renew his license. But he was angry, and he was just telling her off, and you couldn't hear her voice. It was so low. Whether was she indifferent to what he was saying or what, I don't know. But there was some problems with it, as far as the way they had it set up. It's like you go in and somebody tells you to go to these, I've heard them called kiosk, whatever. It's a little place where you sign in, on a, not really a tablet, but just whatever little monitor, I guess, and ask them questions like, what is your confirmation number? But there's nothing that's really telling you to make sure you have your confirmation number with you. And you can't call anybody before then to find out, well, what exactly will they turn me away from, for if I don't have this or that. And anyway, They put in the confirmation number, and then it gets a ticket. Well, the ticket has a number on it. I am used to going through places. They give you a ticket and a number on it, and that's it. And then, but very, very fine line. I mean, very small print. At the bottom of the ticket, it gave some instructions on what to do next. Who would have thought? I have never had that experience ever. It's not something cultural. It is, you get a ticket, that little thin line at the bottom is who makes the ticket. You know what I'm saying? Oh, who makes the print or whatever. And apparently I was not the only one. A woman working there, because the next part was that I was supposed to go and get this clipboard. Well, I had no idea, and I was not the only one. Okay, I was not the only one to know that well, I don't know about that, but the other steps was then to, once I finished what was on the clipboard, to go to these two people on this side, because somebody had to go in there and tell the whole waiting room, if you've done this, then if you haven't gone over there, you need to go over there. You need to, you know, why do they not think why they have so many people? They had a lot of people had to go stand in a line, 2 lines they had open, because nobody knew to do it. You see what I'm saying? And I mean, I cannot imagine it was the first day and the only time that that's ever happened. So they should have somebody standing right there saying, once you finish this, read the bottom of the ticket, and they'll tell you what to do next. So, but it was, you know, once that was done in those 2 steps, which I would not have looked at the ticket. I didn't even know that was on the ticket until after I'd already done all that and was sitting there, and for some reason I looked down at the ticket and I saw this really fine line. Really small print. Yeah. But anyway, then, you know, went through that, and you know, finally called my my number, and just went through that. But the weird thing was, I have just gotten these new glasses, and this year, and it went a couple months ago. I don't know when I did the test, earlier this year, and it was like they didn't have the machine anymore. And Adam said, "Why don't y'all have the machine anymore?" So they probably got rid of it in 2020, because everybody was putting their faces, looking down at, you know, looking at their face, you know, putting their faces on the machine, and then during 2020. And she said that's exactly why they stopped having that. So all they do is hold up this a clipboard which has letters on it and ask you to read it. Well, it was all fuzzy. Seriously. Now my glasses are new, so I don't know, you know, how many people would fail because of it. To go through all of that, and that's what I worried about. I worried that there would be something that I would go through all those steps, and then that would mean that I would have to make another appointment. Adam told me that the one at that location was a year when he tried. So he got a different location, which is not close to here. And he said I thought it was 3 months, but it was 6 months. I did not know that. And mine, I think, may have been 3 months. Maybe. But anyway, I mean, I thought it was really good because the people were nice. The people weren't, you know, like I'm used to, like I said earlier. They were just nice. So that was a good thing. Maybe I just lucked out and got it on a good day. Anyway. But I have to say, you know, it really brought to, you know, I'm 62 years old. It really brought it to my attention. It's not something I'm new to the thought, but it did bring to my attention more that driving is such a part of me, of what I do. Because when, you know, like when I was 18, Adam and I met and got married. He's just a little older, and we moved around a lot. We moved around a whole lot until probably, I still continue to move around. I don't know. I don't even know when to say that ended. But yeah, we moved around a lot. We settled down probably 25 years ago. But it's kind of hard to say that because we moved to, I'm Texan, born and raised. He was born in a country across the globe, and he came to Texas, and that's how we met. He was here in Texas, but not here, but in Texas. And my sister had fired him from a job, but the owner he and the owner knew one another. So I started working there, and he came back. Okay, my older sister had fired him before that. So yeah, talk about, anyway. It was all something. But we moved around a lot because for jobs and trying to improve ourselves. We were dirt poor at first. Seriously, dirt poor. I don't know how we made it. Seriously, I don't know how. I mean, I know because I was there. We struggled. We had back in then, it was you had to work hard, period. There wasn't no smart was going to help you. At least people, I knew where I was, all that kind of stuff. But as time went on, we could do the both work hard and smart. And then more close to the end, it was more smart. Okay? To the end of, he just retired less than a year ago. I basically way early retired. I'm doing some work now just for the health insurance. And, which involves driving. It was, because of my edema and all, it's the only thing I could think to do. I mean, I thought all kinds of stuff. I just can't sit down at a desk. I can't sit, stand, walk around for a long period of time. I had really bad edema. I'd say it's not as bad as what I've seen. What you see online, oh my goodness, I'm like, how? Those are horrible. But mine just doesn't go away. And if I sit down, if I do any of those things for too long, my ankles get big. And so I have to be able to go, I can't work that long. I have to be able to go and lift, raise my legs, lay down for a while, and then they'll get back to, the circulation will go back to somewhat normal at least. And my swelling will go down. And the only thing, I've done all kinds of jobs. I was a career student over 20 years. One of the things I would have probably done that would have been the easiest for me would be substitute teaching. I've done it before in the past. Some of them call me visiting teacher because I taught at college and university. And at least I think that's why they call me visiting teacher. But the problem with that is sitting down for that long. I'd have to work half a day, which I've been to some of these schools and they are pushy. And like if you say, well, I'm only here to do this one kind of job, and they'll say, well, we need you to do this other one, and you don't have any choice in it, and say, no, I'm not dressed for that. I'm signed up to work as a substitute teacher, and they're telling you to go to the library and stock books. Something like that, standing up for 4 hours, 5 hours, no. Plus, there's one school that I liked the most, and it wasn't for privileged students. I worked at 4 districts, for 5 maybe, and around here, and then my hometown, my old hometown. And there's a lot of walking, and I can't always do a lot of walking. And I notice with this health condition that I have, a lot of it depends on if it's humid. Now, it depends on the weather. Seriously, it's just amazing to me. Depends on the weather if I feel good or not. So, anyway, I just thought I'd give a little where am I today update. Since I made that video about driving and everything. So anyway, it is July 16th, 2025 here in Texas, northeast of Dallas. And it's, did I say 8:38? Yeah. And it's 90 degrees. A while ago it was 94, and the heat index was 104. We've had a really cool temperature, COOL, cool temps this year. It's just been amazing. But there are other areas that just have not had it good. Central Texas, oh, I feel for them. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.